Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Here we go. CheFPV, Zero Ground FPV, and a pile of quads, right? But what you're actually looking at is a pile of Runcam cameras. Now, I have used Runcams, I've used Foxeers, I've used all the rebrand, white labels, all that stuff, right? But I always, for some reason, end up back at Runcam when it comes to my FPV cameras. Foxeer in particular is probably their #1 competitor, and Foxeer has some great cameras. HS1177, let's see, I have one literally sitting here. Where did it go? Anyways, HS1177s, Night Wolves, all those cameras, great cameras. But I personally just prefer Runcam. I find their quality to be top notch. I find their innovation or what they kind of put out to really fit my needs when they do. And most importantly, I just have a couple of cameras that I just really have come to really enjoy and have brought on as my preferred camera. I used to use Runcams so far back as this was like the original Sky Plus. I've got Runcam, PZO, the original. I've got, board cameras, all that stuff, all in this box of beat up cameras. But these are my 4 main quads that I'm flying right now, and I'm actually flying, I think, like basically 4 different variations of camera on these. And then I've also got on one of them, oh, here's that HS1177. There you go. But on one of these, which is the Coyote, my all-carbon RC Coyote, it has the Eagle. And that Eagle camera is just like this one, but this one's black. I actually got a second one ever since getting the first one because this is my new go-to camera. This camera, for me, is all around the best camera on the market for whatever your needs are. Now, I run this in the Eagle 4.3, so there's the back of it. Let's see. Anyways, I'm trying to get... There we go. You've got your 3 pins for your voltage, your ground, and your video, and then they actually now provide you the multiple pin outs for your OSD. So no longer do you have to unplug one to plug the other one in. That's not just on the Eagle. Some of their other cameras as well now have that ability, but just one of the great things. The biggest thing for me about the Eagle, it is not plastic. It is metal. Let me see if I can find something to hit it with. So no breaking or cracking that, and that is a huge plus. You saw me with the Runcam Sky Plus cam. That is why I used to run that camera, is it was so solid. It already has a wide-angle lens on it, so you no longer have to purchase a separate lens to put on your Swift or any of your other cameras. It comes ready to go. So like I said, hands down, that new Eagle camera is probably my #1 choice as far as camera choice when I go to put one in a new quad. The only reason I would choose not to use it would be in a situation where my good old trusty standard Owl camera fits and only fits. So this is a 25mm standoff rig, so one of these other cameras would not fit in this setup with the tilt that I needed. So my other main camera, and this really is like my first choice of any camera, Runcam Owl, just straight up Owl, the OG original. There's no controls for OSD, so that's a downfall. However, I find that with my goggles, I can tune the picture the way that I want it on a Runcam Owl. And if I have Runcam Owls across the board on a couple of quads, I don't have to change anything. I personally am lazy, and I don't like going in and messing with the OSD setup. I know it can give you a lot of better advantages and stuff, and I do tune these sometimes, but personally, it's just I don't want to. So for me, what you get with the Owl, great darkness vision, great vision during the day as well. The only real concern with an owl is at certain light levels when the horizon has like a sunset or something, it gets iffy, but I've never had a point where I'm like, I just can't fly this thing. I just have to adapt to it. I just love the Runcam owl. Just love it. Got 2 new ones sitting in boxes just for new builds down the road. This is a Runcam Swift. However, this Runcam Swift actually now has a Owl Plus lens on it. And the reason why is we actually smashed an Owl Plus up. Actually, I didn't. Ribozoid flying my Saturn Titan broke off the sensor on my Owl Plus, cracked the shell on it. I mean, he ran dead center on lens first onto a tree. So yeah, I cracked the shell pretty good. So I took the Owl Plus lens and I dropped it on a Swift. It turns the Swift almost into the Eagle as far as what you kind of get out of it. But it still doesn't have a metal shell on it. And it's still not exactly like an Eagle. But this lens on the Swift gets me very close to what the Eagle does. So that's how I altered my Swift to make it a little bit better. Really, really like it. And I'll do some more testing. But really, the point being is, you know, even here's a Swift. And this time, I put an Owl, just a standard OG Owl lens on it. I forget which lenses come on each one of these. But again, this was done because I actually broke an Owl, and instead of buying a new lens for my Swift, just dropped on an old Owl lens. Always save your beat up cameras, guys. You could pull capacitors and resistors and put them on broken boards. Lenses are great to keep. And shells. Whenever you break a shell, it'd be great to have a spare one, right? So save all your spare parts. In the meantime, dude, Runcam, again, hands down, that's who I go to for all my FPV needs when it comes to cameras. I like the Foxier stuff when I do use it. But as far as support and fast shipping and just quality product all around, innovation, Runcam's where it's at. So fly safe, fly smart, just fly. That's why I use my Runcam cameras and which ones I use. Peace.